The past 5 years has had me reflect on what I hope the next 5 years to look like. And I can tell you, more than anything else, I want to spend more time with my kids, and I hope my kids are going to want to spend more time with me.
Mr. Fraser, why did you decide to come back into the race?
This is an extremely important election. Over the course of the last few months, having a little more time at home than I've grown accustomed to, watching the conversations play out in my community, not just what we see on the news, but about the impact of the potential trade war on jobs in my own community. Made me feel like I wanted to do something to serve. I had made peace with the idea that there was going to be life after politics and figuring out what capacity that would be in. I received a call yesterday from the Prime Minister asking if I would reconsider and step up to help out during this unprecedented economic challenge. And the bulk of our conversation turned quickly to whether we could build in protections for a young parent to actually do the job effectively without giving up on the idea that you should be there for your kids. I have assurances and comfort that I'm going to be able to be closer to home than I was over the course of the past few years and still make a contribution to the country that we all love. And I think this is a time for people to step up and make a difference. So here I am once again. My motivations, even when I made the decision to leave in December, I think I even said in my remarks at the time that I want to run in the next election, I want to win, but I was concerned about being apart from my family for the 4 years that may follow.
Are you in a sense like bigfooting someone else would want to run here in this ride?
No, I didn't make this decision with an effort in mind to have an impact on anyone else. The Prime Minister of Canada called me yesterday and asked me to serve my country. I will never refuse that phone call. Don't count on a 10 or 15-year career in politics for Liberals. It doesn't happen in this part of the world. But the reality that we're experiencing now is people are waking up not just to their traditional voting behavior, but the real threat that is facing Canada. They are having an honest conversation with themselves about who is better to lead our country through these turbulent economic times. And on the one hand, they have Mark Carney, who's one of the most respected voices on economic issues globally. And on the other hand, they have Pierre Poilievre, who doesn't really have work experience outside of being a politician for his entire career. The choice is pretty clear in my opinion, but I think what's very healthy in our democracy is people are in large part not just voting the way their grandparents did, but instead are actually looking at the interest of their community and their country, and that's what democracy is all about.
Some of my closest families in recent years have been diagnosed with cancer and survived. They have suffered heart attacks and undergone triple bypass surgeries. While these examples have led to remarkable rebounds, other family members, like many others with whom I was very close, have passed away. The last 5 years may have been difficult, but they have also brought the most incredible joy. I've seen my wife, who is impressive beyond measure and who has borne a disproportionate share of the work in raising our family, not just bring our kids into the world, but also become an incredible and loving mother who would do anything for her children while she still manages to juggle parenting, work, and a PhD to boot. The past 5 years has had me reflect on what I hope the next 5 years to look like. And I can tell you, more than anything else, I want to spend more time with my kids, and I hope my kids are going to want to spend more time with me. I want meals with Dad to be part of the family's routine as the rule, not just the exception when he's home from Ottawa. I want to be able to make my wife coffee in the morning before she wakes up, and if we get the kids to bed at a reasonable hour, maybe even enjoy a glass of wine over a conversation in the evening. Through the most difficult and joyful personal experiences imaginable, I have become acutely aware of the finite nature of the time that we have with the people that we love. You blink and you miss it. So I'm going to spend a little more time with the people that I care about most. Now I love my job. I'm going to miss it. It's not just the best job I've ever had. It's the best job I can imagine having. It has been the most extraordinary privilege to serve as both the Member of Parliament for the community where I was raised and grew up and the Cabinet Minister for my home province of Nova Scotia. I'm going to miss the work and I'm going to miss the people immensely. The opportunity to help people who make good things happen in your community is incredible. It's like nothing else. The chance to have a positive impact on people's lives, whether at an individual level or on a national scale, is deeply rewarding. I want to say thank you in particular to the Prime Minister for the opportunity to serve. His support for me and for the initiatives that I've worked on over the years has allowed me to have a meaningful impact on my community and the people who call it home. His belief in the work our team was doing has allowed me to move the needle on policies of national importance, particularly those that are directed towards solving the national housing crisis. I want to thank my colleagues who serve in the House of Commons. You are the most interesting group of people I've ever worked with, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to have worked alongside you. To my Nova Scotia and Atlantic Caucus colleagues in particular, past and present, you are so much more than co-workers. You are dear friends that I will keep for a lifetime. Never stop pushing for the betterment of Atlantic Canada, and know that I will only ever be a phone call away. Those who had the opportunity to serve would do well to remember that the highest office holder in our system of government and politics is not the MP, minister, or even prime minister. It's the citizen that we have been elected to serve. It is the people who live in our communities that give us the authority to govern, and to whom we owe a duty to do our very best to make this country a better place to live. My view is that the Liberal Party is best positioned to advance these important causes, so I will remain involved and supportive of the Liberal Party of Canada during the next federal election and for a very long time. But for now, Canada will have another housing minister. Next year, Central Nova will have another member of Parliament. But my kids will never have another dad. Sarah, Molly, and Jack, you mean the world to me. I love you all, and I can't wait to get home for Christmas.